Nnamdi KANU have appeared in the court. Please, if you don't have time to watch this, please go and finish what you are doing and come back and watch this video carefully. With precision, you watch it and see what is transpiring in Nnamdi KANU's court this morning. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel and share it across to people for people to be abreast on the happenings about Nnamdi KANU's court case and Nigeria. Please deem it right to tell someone. Today we are going to unravel many things that you don't know that exist. Nnamdi KANU is standing for his trial today. We are going to see what is happening. He's right here in court as we are reporting to you right now. He is in court to face James Omotosho and his prosecutor, Awomolo. You will see what will come up today. He's a lion. Nnamdi KANU is a lion.
Nnamdi KANU has stormed court today with his legal team. And in a major turn of events, the Department of State Services, DSS, has agreed under pressure to allow him to submit his processes. But what exactly does this mean? And why is everyone talking about it? Let's break it down. Now, for those of you who may not know, Nnamdi KANU is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a group that has been advocating for the secession of Biafra from Nigeria. KANU has been in the custody of the DSS for a while now, facing serious charges that include terrorism and incitement. His case has been one of the most discussed, not just in legal circles, but across political and social lines. And today, there's a fresh twist in the ongoing drama. We've all seen the headlines. Nnamdi KANU storms court, and DSS succumbs to pressure, agrees KANU submits his processes. But what does this actually mean for KANU's case and for Nigeria as a whole? Let's rewind a little bit. We all know the story. KANU was arrested and detained in 2021 after being accused of spreading terrorism-related activities through his leadership of IPOB. Since his detention, the case has stirred major political tensions. Supporters of KANU believe he's been unfairly treated and his rights violated by the government. On the other hand, the Nigerian government views KANU's activities as a threat to national security and stability, especially in the southeast. Today, what we're seeing is a major development in the courtroom. The Federal High Court had given KANU's legal team an ultimatum to submit his defense or face being foreclosed, meaning they'd lose the right to enter a defense. Now, this isn't a small matter. This kind of ruling typically means that the trial can move forward without the defendant's side being properly heard, which can be extremely controversial. But here's where things get interesting. The DSS, which has been holding KANU, had previously been accused of obstructing his access to his legal team and documents necessary for his defense. Some reports have claimed that KANU's legal team wasn't given the tools they needed to prepare his case. This raises serious questions about whether due process was being followed. In fact, KANU's family and legal team had been vocal in claiming that the DSS was deliberately preventing him from preparing his defense, blocking access to legal counsel, and even computer resources to submit documents. This situation put tremendous pressure on the DSS and the Nigerian government. And now, as of today, it seems that the DSS has agreed to let KANU submit his processes, though it's still unclear exactly when or how this will happen. The headline says, DSS succumbs to pressure, suggesting that the authorities have had to back down and give in to the mounting pressure surrounding this case. This is significant because it indicates that KANU's legal team has finally been given the opportunity to present their defense and challenge the charges. But let's pause for a second and think about what this really means. Why all of a sudden is there a shift in the DSS's stance? Is it because the legal pressure is too much? Are they being forced to comply with the court's orders? Or is there something more to this behind the scenes? One possible answer could be that the case has gotten too much attention, both locally and internationally. There's been growing criticism of how the Nigerian government has handled KANU's detention, with human rights groups weighing in and calling for fair treatment. The government, knowing that its handling of the case could damage its reputation further, may have decided it was time to relent and allow KANU to have his day in court. After all, no one wants to risk being accused of denying a person their constitutional rights, especially in a case as high profile as this one. Now, let's think about the potential outcomes. What happens next? Well, Kanu's legal team now has the chance to submit their defense. If they do, the trial will proceed, and we will see if Kanu is able to mount a successful challenge against the charges. But there's still a lot of uncertainty here. For instance, will the DSS continue to try to obstruct the process? And if Kanu submits his defense, what will the court do with it? Will they allow him to continue his defense? Or will the court find another reason to shut down the case? It's also important to remember that Kanu's supporters are watching this closely. If Kanu is allowed to properly defend himself, that could be seen as a victory for his cause and might energize his followers. On the other hand, if he's blocked again, or if his defense is not allowed, there's a real risk of unrest in the southeast, where Kanu has a strong support base. Another thing to consider is the bigger picture. This case is about more than just one man. It's about the right to a fair trial, the tension between national security and individual rights, and the way the Nigerian government deals with dissent. The outcome of Kanu's case could have a ripple effect across the country, affecting how other high-profile cases are handled, especially those involving figures seen as challenging the status quo. Kanu's case also touches on issues of regional and ethnic identity in Nigeria. The southeastern part of the country has long felt marginalized, and Kanu has become a symbol of that struggle. His supporters see him as a leader fighting for the rights of the Igbo people, while the government sees him as a destabilizing force. This division is at the heart of the political tensions surrounding the trial. So, as we wait to see what happens next, there are a few key questions to keep in mind. Will the DSS continue to respect the court's ruling and allow Kanu's team to submit his defense? What will the court decide once the defense is presented, and how will the public react, especially in the southeast? Will this case lead to further unrest, or will it help to resolve some of the deep divisions in the country? There's no easy answer to any of these questions, and the stakes are high. But one thing is clear: this is far from over. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining how this case unfolds and what kind of precedent it sets for future trials in Nigeria. Whether you support Kanu or not, this case will likely shape the future of Nigerian politics, legal processes, and regional relations for years to come. As I was saying, this case isn't just about one man, it's about the broader implications for Nigeria's legal system, national security, and the delicate balance between government authority and personal rights. It's also about what happens when the pressure from both the public and the legal community starts to mount. Now, let's talk about the impact this case could have beyond the courtroom. If the DSS continues to block Kanu's access to his lawyers and the necessary resources for his defense, the international community will be watching closely. International human rights organizations have already raised concerns about the fairness of the trial and whether Kanu's rights are being respected. We could see more calls for the Nigerian government to uphold the rule of law, and this might lead to increased diplomatic pressure. Additionally, the case has the potential to further deepen the divide between the federal government and the southeast region. In the past, Kanu's arrest and detention have been seen as a flashpoint for ethnic and regional tensions. If his rights continue to be seen as violated, especially under such high-profile circumstances, it could spark more protests, more unrest. We saw this before when IPOB called for sit-at-home orders across the southeast, effectively shutting down the region for days. This ongoing situation is also a test of the judicial system in Nigeria. If the court upholds Kanu's right to fair defense, it sends a strong message about the independence of the judiciary in the country. But if the system appears to be complicit in allowing government agencies like the DSS to have so much control over the process, it could lead to public disillusionment with the entire legal structure. People will start questioning whether there is true justice for all Nigerians or just a select few. Let's take a moment and consider the political aspect of this trial. Kanu has become a symbol for many who feel that the Nigerian government is not listening to the concerns of the southeastern region. Whether you agree with his cause or not, his case has elevated him to a position where he represents something larger than just himself. If Kanu were to be granted a fair trial, there would likely be a sense of vindication for those who have supported him throughout the years. However, if the court goes against him or continues to restrict his ability to defend himself, it could lead to even greater alienation of the Southeast from the rest of the country. Let's also not forget the role that media plays in this. With social media and constant news coverage, the narrative of Kanu's trial is being shaped in real time. How the media covers these developments will influence public opinion, both in Nigeria and abroad. We've seen that when something big happens, whether it's related to Kanu or another political figure, the narrative on social media can spread like wildfire, making it hard to control or contain. This is another pressure point that the government is facing. How do they handle the media while also dealing with the legal and political pressures surrounding Kanu's trial? There's also the question of Kanu's health. He has been reported to be in poor health while in detention, and his family has requested that he be allowed medical treatment. This aspect adds another layer of urgency to the case as it raises concerns about the conditions of detention and whether Kanu's well-being is being properly addressed. If the court rules in Kanu's favor and insists that he be allowed medical care, it would signal a significant shift, showing that the legal system is not only concerned with the legalities, but also with the humanitarian aspects of the case. Another point to watch is the political capital that Kanu has. His supporters are highly motivated, and many see his case as a battle for freedom and justice. If the trial continues to drag on without resolution, it could further galvanize his supporters, and we may see more organized protests and demonstrations.